Hello, my dear ones. I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you found this reading. And I truly believe it's not by accident. Today we're diving into a very emotional and layered topic, and I want you to relax, breathe, and just listen. Who is the new person coming into your love life? This is someone who enters quietly but confidently. Not loud, not dramatic, not trying to steal attention. I see a person who already knows who they are, or at least is very close to that point. They're not coming to be saved, fixed, or entertained. They come because they genuinely feel drawn to you as a person, not as an idea. This is someone who has watched life, been through their own emotional lessons, and now wants something real. There's maturity here, even if they don't always show it openly. They might appear calm on the surface, but inside there's depth, curiosity, and a strong emotional intelligence. This person comes into your life when you're no longer desperate for love, and that's exactly why they arrive. What kind of energy does this new person bring to you? The energy is grounding. You'll feel calmer around them, less anxious, less in your head. It's the kind of presence that slows your thoughts down. With them, you don't feel the need to perform or prove anything. There's less emotional roller coaster and more emotional safety. At first, this may feel almost strange because you're used to intensity being confused with love. But this energy is different. It's stable, warm, supportive. It feels like exhaling after holding your breath for too long. They don't rush you. They don't pressure you. And they respect your pace. This is healing energy, even if you don't recognize it immediately. How does this new person truly feel about you? Their feelings grow steadily, not impulsively. This isn't someone who falls in love in 1 second and then disappears. They feel intrigued by you first, then emotionally connected, and only after that, deeply attached. They think about you in moments of silence. They wonder how you see the world, what makes you smile, what hurts you. There's genuine care here. They want to understand you, not possess you. And what's important, they're a bit afraid of these feelings because they don't want to mess it up. That tells me they value you. When someone is careless, they're not afraid of losing you. Here, fear comes from respect. Why does this person appear in your life at this exact moment? Because you're finally ready to receive, not chase. The cards show that before this point, you were giving too much, waiting too long, explaining yourself to people who didn't truly listen. Now your energy has shifted. You've learned boundaries, even if they were painful lessons. This person appears because you're aligned with a healthier version of love. They come as confirmation that you didn't go through everything for nothing. This connection isn't random. It's time to show you what love can feel like when it's mutual and balanced. What lessons does this new connection carry for you? The main lesson is trust without self-abandonment. This relationship teaches you that you can open your heart without losing yourself. It shows you that love doesn't have to hurt to be meaningful. Another lesson is patience. Things don't need to happen all at once. There's beauty in slow unfolding. This connection also teaches you to communicate honestly instead of assuming or overthinking. You'll learn that you don't need to read between the lines when someone speaks clearly. How ready is this new person for a serious relationship? They are more ready than they think. On the surface, they might say they're cautious, taking their time, not rushing into labels, but emotionally, they're prepared for commitment. They've already done a lot of inner work. They know what they don't want, and they're not interested in games. The only thing holding them back slightly is fear of repeating past mistakes. But unlike many people, they don't run from that fear. They face it, and that's a good sign. What attracts this new person to you on a deeper level? Your authenticity. They feel that you're real. You don't pretend to be perfect. You've been hurt, and you don't hide it behind arrogance or coldness. There's warmth in you, even after everything. They're drawn to your emotional depth, your empathy, your ability to feel deeply and still stand up again. They sense that you're someone who can truly bond, not just date. And that's rare. What fears does this new person have when it comes to love? Their biggest fear is emotional loss after emotional investment. They fear opening up fully, and then realizing it was one-sided. They're afraid of giving their heart to someone who might not be ready. That's why they observe you carefully at first. Not because they don't trust you, but because they want to trust themselves. They're learning that vulnerability is not weakness, but it's still a journey for them. How will you feel when you first realize this connection is important? You'll feel a mix of comfort and fear. Comfort because it feels right. Fear because it feels real. There's a moment where you'll catch yourself thinking, this actually matters. And that realization makes you slightly defensive at first. But then comes acceptance. You'll feel softer, more open, more present. Not obsessed, not anxious, just emotionally awake. And that's how you'll know this is different. What potential does this new relationship have long-term? Strong, stable, and deeply fulfilling potential. This is a relationship that can grow into something lasting if you both continue to communicate honestly. It's not about constant passion spikes, but about building something real. Shared routines, mutual support, emotional safety. The cards show long-term partnership energy here, something that can evolve naturally without force. Why does the former partner suddenly return energetically? The former partner returns because something inside them is shaken. They feel a shift in you, even if there is no direct contact. It's like a door they thought was always half open suddenly closes. This creates panic. They realize you're no longer emotionally waiting, no longer stuck in the same place. That loss of control triggers memories, regret, and a strong urge to reconnect. It's not coincidence, it's energetic reaction. When you move forward, those who once took you for granted often feel it the strongest. What exactly does the former partner regret now? They regret not taking you seriously when you were still emotionally available. They regret the moments they dismissed, postponed, or assumed you'd always be there. They now see that you gave more than they realized at the time. There's regret about words not said, actions not taken, and chances wasted. What hurts them most is understanding that you were ready then, and they were not. And now, the roles feel reversed. Is the former partner coming back with honest intentions? The intentions are mixed. There is sincerity in their emotions. Yes, they truly feel something. But honesty is clouded by fear and ego. Part of them wants genuine connection, and another part simply doesn't want to lose you to someone else. They may believe they're ready now, but the cards show confusion. This is not yet a fully grounded, stable intention. It's emotional, reactive, and driven by loss, rather than clarity. What does the former partner want from you emotionally? They want reassurance, validation, and emotional closeness. They want to feel that they still matter to you. There's a desire to be seen differently than before, to be forgiven without fully addressing past patterns. They crave emotional comfort from you, because with you they once felt understood. But the question is whether they're ready to give the same level of emotional safety back. What has changed inside the former partner since the separation? They've become more aware, but not necessarily more disciplined. Awareness doesn't always equal transformation. They now understand what they lost and why it hurt. They think more, reflect more, and feel more deeply than before. However, some old habits still linger. Growth has started, but it's incomplete. They are standing at the door of change, but haven't fully walked through it yet. What remains unresolved between you and the former partner? Unspoken emotions and unmet expectations. There were things you felt but didn't say, and things they avoided acknowledging. There's also unresolved imbalance. Who gave more? Who waited longer? Who compromised deeper? Until that is openly addressed, the connection remains energetically open. Closure here doesn't necessarily mean reunion. It means truth. How does the former partner see you now? They see you as stronger, more distant, and more valuable than before. Ironically, now that you're less accessible, they recognize your worth more clearly. They sense that you've grown emotionally, and that intimidates them slightly. You're no longer the version of you they once felt comfortable with, and that both attracts and scares them. What does the former partner fear losing this time? They fear losing the chance to correct their mistake. They fear watching you build a future with someone else. They fear becoming just a memory instead of a choice. There's also fear of regret becoming permanent. That's why their energy feels urgent, restless, and emotionally charged. Will the former partner take real action or just talk? Initially, more talk than action. Promises, explanations, emotional conversations. Action requires consistency, and that's where the test lies. If you set boundaries and don't rush, you'll clearly see whether they can truly show up differently. The cards advise observing, not believing words alone. What patterns from the past relationship resurface? The push and pull dynamic, emotional hesitation, and delayed responses. There may be moments where it feels familiar, even comforting, but also moments where old frustrations resurface. This is a signal. Patterns return to show whether they can be healed or whether they are meant to be released for good. Thank you for being here, for listening, and for trusting this reading. Take what resonates with your heart, leave the rest, and remember, you always have a choice. I appreciate your energy, your presence, and your openness. Take care of yourself, and I'll see you again.